Welcome to Business Exit Success, the podcast dedicated to helping small business owners on how they can successfully transition out of their business on their terms while also living a life of purpose and fulfillment after the sale. I am your host, certified financial planner and certified exit planning advisor, Tom Poltersdorf. On this episode, I want to share some insight into the private equity space when selling a business because there are so many traps and mistakes that can be made here. I'll share my personal experience as the financial planner and exit planning advisor, working with clients, as well as insight I've gathered from talking and working with experienced M&A advisors, CPAs, and attorneys. The first thing is know the game you're playing. Specifically for today, the private equity game. Private equity firms have done hundreds, if not thousands, of deals with buying businesses, and for many owners, selling their business will be the first time going through the process. So private equity firms have a huge advantage, especially if a business owner does not have a trusted wealth advisor that's in your corner that knows your goals and what you are trying to accomplish. I call this person your financial quarterback because they look out for your best interests and you're able to bring in key players that have the experience and motivation to get you the best deal. Remember, if someone approaches you interested in buying your business, you will get to a point where you sign a non-disclosure agreement, your business is valued, and an offer is put out to you. That will be the ceiling for the value of your business. And from that point on, due diligence starts, and private equity or any strategic or financial buyer will try to knock down your valuation as much as possible by finding gaps and weaknesses in your business. They are notorious for taking your eye off the ball, getting you exhausted to the point where you get distracted and solely focused on the sale and the amount of money you can potentially make, and you lose focus on your business. What happens is your revenue drops for a quarter or two, and private equity comes back and says, wait, your revenue dropped. We have to adjust your valuation. They want to drag out the process and tire you out so you get to the point where you just want to get the deal done. So be in the mindset where you have no problem with walking away early in the process because this will put you in a better negotiation position. I'm working with a business where they had a private equity firm reach out. We had an introduction call and they are interested in learning more about the company. So they wanted to schedule a second call to learn more about the financials and have my client sign an NDA. We pumped the brakes a little bit and decided to go a different direction. And we are now exploring bringing in another firm that specializes in valuations and value enhancements because we want to be as prepared as possible before engaging with a private equity firm in any deal structures. So being able to walk away gives you a ton of leverage. Now, private equity isn't all doom and gloom either. There are just a ton of traps and mistakes that can be made, but if it all goes well, working with a private equity firm can give a business owner a second bite at the apple, essentially having two exits. And here's how this works. A private equity firm will come in and want to acquire a majority share of your business, greater than 50%, so they have ultimate control. Their goal is to then fix up the business and resell it for a profit 3 to 5 years later down the road. This is no different than someone buying a house really cheap and then fixing it up to sell it for a profit. From the business owner's end, they end up selling 60 to 70% ownership of the business in the beginning and then stay on board for X number of years until the remaining ownership of the business is sold, which is the second exit, otherwise known as you get a second bite at the apple. Because in some cases, after the business is cleaned up, the second liquidity event can be more financially rewarding than the first. So private equity can be extremely financially rewarding depending on what you're trying to accomplish. The main point for this episode is understand and know the game you are playing so you can avoid making unnecessary mistakes and instead have a successful exit. Hey everybody, real quick before you take off, if you found this episode helpful in any way, please rate the podcast and leave a review. I would love to get your feedback and see if there are any topics you'd like to hear more about going forward. Thank you, and I appreciate you all very much.